record on the
Because
computer.
he's singing.
Right, guys, that is
Warm the
us.
voice up.
That is us recording. So Jim, you're muted at the moment, but when you are ready, just give us a shout.
Sorry, I wasn't listening.
It's okay. That's us recording now. So when you're ready, just play us in.
Right.
Thank
so
you.
I was going to ask you what songs to do. Oh dear. Right, I'll just do this one then.
Thank you.
Life is chosen, and we're accepted now. Our sustaining grace will shine on through. It's shining through. This love for us is shining through. We must endure our times of pain and loss. Rely on hope, our strength, our grace to shine through. This love for us is shining through. Sustaining grace, enduring souls, fill our hearts for life to know. This shining through. This grace for us to shine through. Some troubles caused by what we do in life, we can use them to break through, to shine through. Freedom in our life to shine through. Our worldly pain, it comes and goes at times, strengthens our life as we endure and shine through. This love for us is shining through. Sustaining grace, enduring souls, fill our hearts for life to know. This shining through. This grace for us to shine through. My flesh is weak, your strength is mine. Sustaining grace, you bring me free. Our worldly loss, our hearts are pain. Sustaining grace for all of you, shining through. Shining through.
Oh, lovely, Jim. That was beautiful.
Yeah, it was
How are
great.
you? How are you today?
Yeah, super. Thanks very much. I wrote that song just this week, and it came off the back of really this broadcast. You know, I was thinking about what could I really sing about, and in here it's got to be about pain, it's got to be learning, it's about endurance, and that's how I put it together. It's a wee bit deep, but hey, I'll maybe find a space somewhere. But this is what happens if you write songs, and Peter will know about this. You've just got to kind of put them out there and leave them be and see what happens.
Oh, it's lovely. Yeah. Yeah.
So was that a wee exclusive we had there?
Yeah. First showing of the and listening opportunity, first ever exclusive. Brilliant. Oh, it's lovely to see you. How are you, Donna?
Not bad. I'm hating this having to be on Zoom meetings and stuff because I need a haircut. That's so I can see when I'm in them if I need a haircut.
My
I was
my
ready for
mother-in-law
gospel on
cut my
Sinead with a razor.
my mother-in-law cut my hair for me the other day. I was getting so fed up with it. It was just straggly looking, and so I was like, just cut in a straight line, please, just straight line. I was looking in the mirror. I was like, yes, Jess, no, yes, yeah, just straight across, just an inch.
And how are
But
you?
hey, it's our lockdown stories. We're just lockdown life. Everybody's either got a skinhead or hippie hair. That's why Mikey's hair is the way it is, you know. That'll be Neil Ennis by the time we finish this series.
Rapunzel. And how are
Uh,
you?
I'm good. I'm up at my mum's this week. My partner has got his children staying overnight this weekend, so that's nice for him. First time for a long time. So there was mad rushing about and buying beds and all sorts of different things. So it'll be madness. And I'm up at my mum's getting the peace and quiet. So it's lovely up here, a bit cold. But she lives up in the Ochils. And when I say up in the Ochils, I mean up there somewhere. So there's snow here, and you sort of drive into as you're coming gradually higher up the hill. But it's such beautiful surroundings. Just a little house in the middle of nowhere. It's lovely. As long as I've got my viola, guitar, and plenty of food.
You celebrated 5 years this year, Becky.
Yeah, I managed to get to 5 years without using a mind-altering substance. That's
Amazing.
incredible, isn't it?
Amazing.
It's absolutely incredible, and it's odd, isn't it? Because the time feels like it's really flashed by. You know, people early in their recovery think 5 years is a really long time.
I thought 5
Um,
years was like 4 years was going to be like ages away, and it has
Yeah.
just flown in, man.
Or when I was early in my, those first few months sitting in recovery meetings, and I didn't really even identify with people that had like even 2 years. Anything above a year. Anybody who could manage to get to a year was a complete hero. Everybody else, it was just like a concept my mind couldn't compute.
Yeah.
So it's been absolutely blessed time, because my life is absolutely the polar opposite to what it was the day I decided to stop using drugs. And I don't regret any of it. I had that first month where I just felt physically ill and mentally absolutely, in my boots, really mentally. I didn't know whether I was coming or going. I couldn't tell you where I was or what time of day it was, but I just kept, I kept trying, and I think that led on to a period where I thought, oh, I can maybe do this, and then it was time to look at my physical health and, start looking after myself a little bit. And then I got to a point where I was sort of buzzing with being in recovery. I remember the first time I turned down drugs from somebody who offered me on the bus, and I felt like I'd like won the lottery or something. I was like, yes. And all these little things are important, and started getting my life back, started having interests, got together with Jim and started playing music. And so this week was a funny old week, because on Monday I was 5 years clean, and I started working for the government. So it's all official. And it was really funny because I'm still working from home, so I was like sitting ready in anticipation in front of my computer, and then thought, oh, well, I'm really going to have to think of something to do. Like, there was nobody demanding I should go into a meeting. There was, there wasn't a pile of work on my desks. There wasn't anybody breathing down my neck. And I did have a little bit of that fear in my chest for, like, what do I do? Like, what if somebody finds out that I don't really know what I'm doing? But I think with 5 years it's not just being 5 years clean, it's 5 years working a 12-step program, getting lots of other people's experience, and getting getting little tools and tricks and having peace of mind and that sort of thing, where I can have that sort of uh, I'm not as self-obsessed. I'm not as frightened of consequences if I'm doing the right thing, and I can have a little bit of compassion, for myself. That's quite a new thing. That's probably the last year or so where I can say to myself, "It's okay if you don't really know what you're doing. There's a plan, and it'll happen."
There's going to be a lot of that for me coming up as well.
Yeah.
I totally identify with that, Becky.
So have you got news that you can officially share with us yet?
Not yet. I'm waiting for my last reference to get in, so I think it was in yesterday. So fingers crossed next week.
Okay, so next week we can have a discussion about your new job.
Yes.
And I see that our friend Lyndsey has joined us.
Yeah, we should get Lyndsey in to talk about what she does.
Yeah, welcome, Lyndsey. How are you? If you'd like.
Yes, sorry, my apologies for my tardiness. I was having problems with my laptop, but I've managed to get in on my phone. So I've never actually used this on my phone, so I'll apologise.
You're doing very well.
But yeah, thanks for having me. It's great to be here and join in with your chat.
Maybe you could just tell us a little bit about who you are, a little bit of background, and what organisation you work for, Lyndsey.
Okay, yeah. So my name's Lyndsey and I work for Aberdeen In Recovery. So a lived experience recovery organisation who recently became a charity, a registered charity, and I've worked with them. I actually started off as a member. I got involved with them within my own recovery. I've been in recovery now for, I'm losing count, 4 years. So yeah, and managed to sustain stable recovery for quite a period of time, with thanks to AIR, and just sort of working through their kind of developmental pathway, and taking on responsibility, becoming a volunteer, and I'm probably one of the luckiest people in the world that they managed to secure funding for a paid position. So I applied successfully for that job, and like I say, started off part-time, hugely supportive in helping me get back into the working world, if you like, dipping my toes in. So I started off sort of very part-time, and then slowly over a year and a half increased my hours, and now I am full-time with them. So I do a lot of the admin and communications stuff. So this kind of stuff, it's right up my street. Although I still get full of nerves when I do anything like this. But yeah, it's all good. It's great stuff.
Oh, fantastic! It's fantastic to have you on the show this week, and I think probably everybody in here has that experience of life not going so well, and managing to connect to people that completely transform, uh, and we were just talking about the new post that I've got seconded, along with my job with the recovery community that I absolutely love to bits. So I'm still I'm still doing that 3 days a week. But I think if it wasn't for the people around me in recovery and the recovery community that I was able to access, I just wouldn't be in the position that I'm in today. So it's me. I feel like the luckiest person in the world. It's me.
It's me.
We're all very lucky to be able to do what we enjoy doing with the support on hand. You know, the support's
Yeah.
on. You know, we are super lucky, definitely.
Yeah, and we've got Peter with us today. So Peter, I think Peter was celebrating yesterday as well. Our house musician, and I wonder, Peter, if you'd be able to play us something this morning. Just let us know what that is and what your inspiration for it is.
Yeah, hi Becky. Hi
I
everybody.
love how you have reverb on your
I know.
speaking
I
voice.
am your father. It's brilliant. I don't know how to turn it off, or I would. So apologies.
Good.
Aye. So I'm trying to get some volume on my guitar. Sorry. And I have none.
We can hear it fine at this end.
Can you?
Yeah.
Oh, do you know why my headphones are not plugged in? Oh, it must be one of those days, I swear to God. I'm gonna do something really stupid here. I wrote this song as we were sitting here,
Yes.
which I'm quite fond of doing, as Jim
Yeah.
will know.
Yeah.
Another
And this
excuse
came
next time.
about because my missus was having a really hard time just before this started with some stuff that she could not handle. She was getting really sad and really upset. And rather than me getting really sad and upset, I just had to not be like that. And the only way I know how to deal with stuff like that is if I'm not working a programme, is to turn it into a song. So
Yep.
this is, it's not got a title and it's about 5 minutes old. And see if I mess it up, I'm really sorry.
It'll be amazing.
Maybe a bit less volume. Sometimes it's hard, sometimes it gets too much, sometimes life gets in the way. Sometimes we try, sometimes we fail, sometimes we have to try again. Well, babe, don't you give up. Accept what you can change. Well, babe, don't get too stuck. Sometimes you can get your own way. Sometimes you can make it on your own. You can't always make it on your own. And sometimes you can't make it on your own. You can't always make it on your own. Sometimes we cry, sometimes we hide away, sometimes we just can't face the world. When that time comes, just hold out your hand. Don't live alone in all that hurt. Well, babe, don't you give up. Accept what you can't change. Well, babe, don't get too stuck. Sometimes you can get your accept what you can change. Well, babe, don't get too stuck. Sometimes you can't get your own way. Sometimes you can't make it on your own. Sometimes you can't make it alone. Sometimes you can't just make it on your own. Sometimes we can't make it alone. I didn't know how to end it, so there you go.
Woo!
Goosebumps there.
That was amazing. That was amazing. I think we should promote this as the new way of working your steps, but through song.
Oh, yes. That was improv at its finest.
As long as you're working a program, you can do it in any way that you like, you know.
Step one by song.
Exactly.
So how's your week been, Peter?
It's been good. To be fair, Becky, I did the 90-day thing on Thursday,
Well done, congratulations.
which was a bit of an achievement. And I realised how much an achievement was last night when I did that share, because it was like madness, carnage, and then I've not took drugs for 90 days, and this is how I did it. Do you know what I mean? It's to get to that point to where I come into this community again, and to get to be sitting here, and to just sit and play a song that I just made up on camera for people is like massive progress. Do you know what I mean? Because I could never have done that. I could barely speak in meetings when I come in. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that just kind of tells me how much. If I never needed a sign of how much growth I went through, I think it's evident right there.
Yeah.
So it's been a week of serious reflection, and sometimes digging deep. The homeschooling thing is a bit, it's hostage negotiation more than teaching sometimes. But it's luxury problems today, Becky.
Yes.
Very luxury problems.
Yeah, I think that's you. I keep saying this to people that it's true of myself. The things that are stressful and hard in my life are only stressful and hard because I've got things in my life. You know, it's an absolute blessing. I'm always relieved that I've got to spend money on something, because for the first time in my life I've got money to spend. You know what I mean? You know, so well, I think you're amazing. I think I'm just looking back over the last, since Jim and I first met you. I'm sure Jim will agree with me. Just that sort of creativity has just grown and grown in you. I used to have a friend that was a writer. He did various different kinds of writing, but he liked journalism, and he'd worked as a journalist over the years, and he had a terrible drug problem. Absolutely terrible. Got progressively worse, and he said to me one time, "I'm afraid to stop because I think it might quash my creativity." So I know that's a genuine fear with people. But I just had to I just looked at him with like incredulity, because he wasn't writing anything. He hadn't got a job. You know, he wrote about 3 sentences. I'm sure he had plenty of great ideas in his head, but because of his drug use, he couldn't get the motivation to actually turn it into something. And I think if you're a creative person, I don't know if Donna will agree, but I think if you're creative, then that creativity comes from within. You've got it. You've always got it. I think some people are really blessed to have that sort of creative mind. And I think substances quash that. I think they dull your mind. I know certainly in my experience, you know, my best ideas have come in my recovery. You know, my memory's sharp, my thinking is sharp, you know, my critical mind is awake and aware. I don't know what you think, Donna. Do you agree
Oh,
with that?
definitely, but I do know we being in about musicians and stuff that are still obviously like are used recreationally, or that you start talking to and they start kind of identifying and thinking, maybe, oh well, maybe I have got a problem. But it's the same. It's the same thing. They think if they stop, that's going to affect their creativity. When
Yeah.
and there's a guy that wrote a book, and he was the same. He thought that, but then found that once he stopped, he felt much better and created much better art. So
Yeah.
definitely.
I think if I can interject here, I totally agree with you, and it has been an absolute pleasure just being alongside Peter and watching him blossom. But I've found that there are many of us that are blinded or inhibiting our creative ability, and it could be for a whole wide range of things. And you know, addiction and drugs is one of these things that actually does inhibit and blind you from where you're creative, because you won't believe. You won't believe. You've no self-worth. You've no, you know, that everything's really, you're just putting a lid on everything. And when you can, like Peter, become free of that burden, it's scary. It's frightening. But I would encourage all the folks out there is to tap into some of that. There's completely untapped stuff that's buried deep within us all, honestly. And once you just set yourself free a little bit, give yourself a bit of love, a bit of peace, and then it can come out, be it writing, be it a bit of wisdom, whatever, you know, just a bit of love, enthusiasm for others, encouragement for others. It could be all sorts of blessings.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Jim. Lyndsey, what's going on creatively in your organisation at the moment? I hear that you have a radio station that's that people can contribute to.
Yes, that's one of probably our biggest success stories, if you like, within EAR is the media project that runs. So there's quite a few things happening with that, but probably the biggest one is we produce a weekly radio show which goes out on the local radio station up in Grampian. It's Shmoo. And so we do a recording session much in such the same as this every week. And it would be great to have, you know, different folk on, and we always chat about recovery and, you know, if there's anything specific going on at the time. But it's more sort of recovery overall in general, tips and tricks for, I think, you know, with the COVID situation at the moment, it's isolated a lot of people. And for some folk, the radios, you know, and I know maybe it's my age, but it's, you know, the radios are maybe a bit older fashioned, but it is still, you know, the only medium that some folk have got to make that connection. So it's a massive thing, and we're so proud of it. Really, we pull all
I
the
think
stops.
radio has a really far reach, actually, doesn't it? I don't know if Donna has that experience, because I know that you have a radio program as well, Donna, with Sunny Govan. But I think certainly for me, it's nice, you know, just to be sitting comfortable, be able to tune in. There isn't too much demands made on you when you're listening to radio. So, you know, I think it's still one of the most popular mediums. And when, I don't know if everybody else remembers this, but do you remember when they were going to stop FM radio? They were just going to take the masts down. There wasn't going to be radio. Everything was going to go to digital. And there was absolute uproar. There was absolute national uproar because people just love it so much. So I think it's quite accessible as well to anybody, you know, whether you've don't need a DAB radio or anything. So anyway, I'm conscious that we are running out of time fast. It's been really amazing to have everybody on today. So hopefully next week we can get a bit of a longer chat with Donna about her exciting news that we've been going on about now for a couple of weeks. Still the mystery, exciting news. And it was amazing to have Peter. Well done in your 90 days, and just, you know, I think having you as a regular part of this show, I think just makes a fantastic difference. I see Jim there, maybe looking for another wee song to play us out.
Well, I was hoping my buddy Peter would have maybe had something to fill in. I was giving it a wee swap.
You got something to play us out with, Peter?
Written anything in the last 5 minutes, but
It can be an oldie and a goodie.
I'll play this one. This is what you helped me record there. This is also stolen for recovery meeting, all the lyrics.
Best song ever.
It's not too bad. Lost as you are, don't turn around. The best lies ahead of you. Keep your feet on the ground. As much as you hurt, you gotta keep moving on. Why turn around? Yesterday's gone. You just have to live one day at a time. You have to get back to the best of your life. You just have to take one day at a time. Keep holding on till you get to the light. There's trouble and there's love. There's hope and there's rain. You take your time till you smile again. I know that pain. I've been there too. Some are caused, some are carried. Trust me, I know what's inside you. You just have to live one day at a time. You have to get back to the best of your life. You just have to take one day at a time. Keep holding on to get to the light.
Thank you. Amazing. Goodbye, everybody.